because, as requested, he is back. And he has kind of new objects, and he's just gonna be trying ASMR for a second time. Let's see if he's any better. You ready?
Yeah, sure. So, there's a lot of pressure here now. This is my third time back. I did bring a few objects, I'll show it to you. But I'm also going to tell a couple stories. A couple ghost stories. PG ghost stories. And these are the stories that my dad used to tell me when I was just a little boy. I bought this little bag. And it has, I think salt. And you rotate it. So I brought this, and maybe while I'm telling the stories, I'll do this. I brought these beads back. People really like it. I like it.
I love them.
Yeah.
I was gonna steal them.
Maybe I'll leave them here by accident, because if I use them in the future, then they're already here.
Yeah, true.
I brought this brush, and I like this brush, but before I came here, my dog chewed it and broke the little handle, and pieces broke off, and I don't know if she ingested it or not, but I brought this one because, I don't know, I kind of like to hear that. It'll make me tired and fall asleep if I heard that constantly.
Yeah.
And I brought this bag. Might be a little bit loud, but maybe. So, I want to tell a story about what my dad used to do when I was young. In my previous ones, I talked about him putting me to sleep, and I think I'll do that again. And that's fun. That's one of my favorite ones. Another one was he used to tell me ghost stories. You know, like if I was like 5 or 6 years old, he'd tell me some stories that he experienced and some make-believe story.
I'm excited to hear.
Yeah. So, one of the stories that he had is when he was young. Back in the day, my dad was a greaser. So imagine, as you relax, lay down, turn on the lights, imagine 1950s. And the 1950s were greasers, and my dad was a greaser. He wore a white shirt, leather jacket, greasy hair, and all the boys back then thought they were tough. And what they would do on a Friday or Saturday night, they would just drive in the streets. So one particular day, my dad and 2 of his buddies were driving down the street in 1957 Chevy, and everybody would do that, and you just look at one another, just kind of nodding, like, being cool like the Fonz. So one particular evening, he was out with his buddies, and they were driving, and they saw 3 girls. Now, it's dark, it's nighttime, 10, 11 o'clock at night. They saw 3 girls walking in the sidewalk. And so they decided to pull up, and, hey, what are you girls doing? You want to party? And they said, sure. And these girls were dressed in skirts and kind of like the 1950s look, with white socks and shoes that were black and white. And I don't know if you ever seen those shoes. Anyway, so the 3 girls jumped in the back, and him and his friends just went driving, and they stopped at a ice cream place that served hot dogs and hamburgers, and they had waitresses on roller skates.
That's so cool.
And so they used to have blast music, and while people were getting served their hot dogs and hamburgers and their milkshakes, and sometimes you get out and you dance, like the 1950s type of dance, greasers and just one big party. So as the night was ending, they took the girls home, and the girls got out, and the girls told my dad and his 2 friends, we had a really good time. I'm so glad you took us out. Maybe next week, can you guys next week came around, and my dad and his friends, they went back to the house where they dropped off the girls, and it was about 8 o'clock in the evening, and they were knocking on the door, and nobody was answering. And so they knocked, and they sat on the steps, and nobody was answering the door. Now, that's kind of weird. And then a neighbor came out, this old man, and he goes, "Well, what are you guys doing here?" And they said, "Well, we were here last week with these 3 girls, and we wanted to party with them, so we're here to pick them up." And he says, "You're talking about 3 girls that lived in this house?" And they said, "Yeah." And then he said, "Are you talking about these 3 girls?" And he showed him the picture. I don't know if you can see that. There we go.
Is this a true story?
Yeah. And he says, "Are you talking about these 3 girls?" And they said, "Yeah, those 3 girls right there, that's the ones that we took them out last time."
I see.
And the old man said, "Well, they can't be." And my dad said, "Why?" We had fun. And he says, "Well, those 3 girls died last month in a car wreck. Drove over a bridge."
Last month?
Yeah.
A month before this happened?
Yes. And that is the story of the 3 girls.
And that's a true story?
Well, that's the way my dad told me it was. I can't be for sure.
Yeah.
But he told me that story again and again. So, I mean...
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a
really
little
crazy.
ghost story. My dad really liked paranormal.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Paranormal.
He liked that stuff. He has, one time he went to his grandmother's funeral, and he was just a little boy too, and he was sitting in the pew waiting for people to, say their respects, and as like any boys, he'd sit down and start playing. But as everybody was leaving, one of the things that he did is he went up and looked at his grandmother from a distance, and when everybody was preoccupied and doing stuff, he said this. Now this is true. This is what he said. He said in the middle, his grandma rose up, looked over at him, smiled, went back and laid back down.
And it's a real story?
That's his story.
Wow.
That's his story when he was young.
He was very into that.
Yes, he was very into that type of
That's
stuff.
crazy.
And there's another story, but I forgot. Oh, I remember this one.
Is this a real one?
Yes, this is real.
Okay.
So, this is not like a ghost story or excuse me. It's not a ghost story more than it's just a situation. So when he was young, he went out and he was walking down the street to the grocery store, and about halfway to the grocery store, he heard his dad call him, "Gene, Gene." And he stopped and he goes, "My dad's calling me, yelling for me." So he wanted to go back home and see what his dad wanted. So he goes back home and he opens the door and he says, "Dad, what do you want? What do you want? You called me." And his dad looked at him and says, "Were you crazy? We did not call you. What are you talking about?" He goes, "You called me. I was halfway down to the store." And so I just came back, and he goes, "You're crazy. Go back outside." So my dad left. And he left, and he started to walk back to the store. Well, while he was walking back, an ambulance was going by. And as any kid that day, you chase after ambulance. So he started chasing after it, see where the ambulance was going. And then, right where he turned around, the very spot where he heard his dad call him, there was a guy that got shot. dead. And if my dad didn't turn back when he heard his dad call him, he would have been that guy.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So,
very crazy.
you know, had he not heard my voice cracked, had he not heard that voice,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be around telling that story.
It was like a guardian angel, like, calling out his name to save him.
Yes.
That's really crazy.
It is crazy.
That's honestly...
That would give me the chills.
Yeah, and then it's, like, scary, but it's not.
Correct.
Or, like,
Yeah.
it's cool. Because
Yeah.
in case we're in situations where, like, something happens, we hear something, and then, but what if it could save us?
That's a great statement.
That's crazy.
I think that gives you chills. And as a kid, as me, he's putting me to sleep and he's telling me this stuff. But it kind of worked because it brought in my imagination. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it was really neat.
Trying to relax people by telling them ghost stories.
I know. I was thinking about that. We should have saved some of these ghost stories for Halloween
Yeah,
and told these stories.
yeah.
But maybe what I would like to do is maybe kind of put some of you to sleep, if you allow me to.
Yeah.
So, after telling these ghost stories, I want you to cuddle up in bed. I want you to relax. Get your eyes heavy. Take a deep breath. And relax. And I'm going to do to you what my dad did to me. So relax. And as you're laying down, I'm rubbing your face. Real gently.
I can't see, but it's okay.
Oh, that's because this is their face right here.
Oh. Well, their eyes are... Okay.
Let me go to this one. So relax. Be gentle. I want you to only think and listen to my voice. Your eyes are getting heavy, and my fingertips are gently going over your face. Real soft. You can barely feel it. Almost to the point of it tickles. Real gently. You're falling asleep. Deep, deep sleep. Your eyes are getting heavy. Very, very heavy. You're getting tired. Very, very tired. Listen to your own heartbeat. Listen to your own breath. I want you to think only of what I'm talking to you about. Nothing else. Almost like counting sheep. You think of nothing but what I'm telling you. Your eyes are getting heavier and heavier and falling deep, deep asleep. You're getting more tired. Your eyes are getting heavy. Very heavy. And things are starting to fade. My voice is starting to go away. It's starting to disappear. Relax. I think I'm getting tired. Are you getting tired?
That's good.
I'm getting tired. I said I was going to incorporate some of these noises, and I kind of forgot about it.
It's okay. I stored them very subtly.
But being able to relax, like I said before, life is fast. It's fast-paced. Just think about nothing sometimes is a good thing. It's like meditation. Think of nothing.
It's hard sometimes.
You ever heard the term counting sheep? You ever heard that?
Yeah.
So there's a reason for that. If you count sheep, 1, 2, 3, 4, what that does does is it breaks your mind from thinking about everything that you're thinking about. Maybe you have car issues. Maybe you have, and I'm not going to sit here and make a list and remind you of them, but maybe you have issues in your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need a break and you need to relax and you need time out. So they say when you count sheep, you're breaking, you're snapping your brain to only think about one thing.
Yeah.
1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 4 sheep, 5 sheep. And what happens is your breath starts to get longer. And you go 6 sheep, 7 sheep. And your brain is disconnected. 8 sheep. And then your breath starts to get heavier.
Yeah.
9 sheep.
It's a mindless activity.
That's exactly what it is. So when you start counting sheep, or when you rub your face like my dad did, you're disconnecting, breaking your mind to go off somewhere else. And then next thing you know, you're watching this video for the 5th time because you missed everything that was said afterwards. I saw somebody make a comment and I thought that was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
I watched this video for the 5th time because I can't see the whole thing. I end up falling asleep.
That's fine.
I thought that was very cute.
Yeah.
I loved it. Another thing, and all of you are aware of it, is little noises like Haley provides you every night. Things that we can listen to. Not car horns or trucks driving by or motorcycles, but just the subtle. And I think one of the things I always like is the crackling of fire.
Yeah.
Or rain, as people would listen to waterfalls or lightning sometimes in the background, a little bit of a thunder. But something that's consistent and continuous. And it's amazing how your brain just slows down. And then you feel heavy. That's why your eyes get heavy. Because you're hearing the same thing. And the noise, these triggers, can put you to sleep. Just like a fan or something that's a continuous. And you feel your body feeling like lead and getting very tired. These are my favorites. I want all of you to just disconnect. I think it's important. It's good for your health.
Yeah.
It's good for your mind. It's good for your soul. Just to not think of anything. Your mind's been doing that all day. Give your mind a break and relax.
It's really good.
I like this one for some reason when I was rotating it, listening to the sand. Sometimes the ink, the frequency changes. It can almost remind me a little bit like waves in an ocean. You know, sometimes it can come crashing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just
That's cool.
Do you know what I think is really neat? It's the simple things in life. And we always gotta ground ourselves with simple.
It's good life advice.
Yeah. I hope that over the years that the things that my dad taught me and did things with me, which at the time I took for granted,
Yeah.
that I hope that you, Hannah, Haley, Josh, or your Haley,
Yeah.
all can share these experiences with people and your future kids disconnect. It feels so good to disconnect and not think about anything. I really enjoy everything that you do. I've seen your videos. She's remarkable. I can't believe the amount of imagination she has. When she asked me to do this, I'm like, oh boy, I gotta find some stuff. I feel like I have to meet expectations, and you do this day in and day out.
No, I mean, like, you get used to it, you know, like, comfortable, but, like, you're really good. And just kind of natural. The natural front of the camera as well.
Natural flow.
Yeah.
Well, I really hope everybody enjoyed it. And share this video. If you can get past the ghost stories, the falling asleep, and if this is the 5th video you've watched right now, and you're only now getting to this point, congratulations. Kudos to you. I want to hear about this in the comments. Yeah, it took me 10 videos to get to this point.
Give yourself a lot of credit.
Give yourself a lot of credit.
That's cute.
But thank you very much. I appreciate it. If there's any more special things you want to hear, I'd be more than happy. I got lots of stories.
Yeah.
I got lots.
We could do like a podcast episode.
Now I like that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Podcast.
I need to get caught up on videos and then we can do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you
then
can.
I'll interview him.
That's a great idea. And Anna.
Yeah.
And Josh. And
yeah.
your mother. Oh my God. Her mother. You probably laugh.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to interview her.
You're gonna have to do a blooper.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of bloopers.
Yeah, because the laugh is addictive. It's funny.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you very much, and I enjoy reading your comments, and I'm very flattered and humbled at the same time. And I hope I met these expectations